The ANC will announce the remaining 80 names of its newly elected National Executive Committee later on today. The names of the 80 members were due to be released last night, but vote counting at the ANC National Conference continued past midnight. More than 200 candidates made it onto the ballot. The 80 members will join the top 7 officials already elected to the NEC. SABC News' political editor Mzwandile Mbeje joins me for now. Very good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for coming in. What can we expect from this list of 80 and what will it tell us about where the ANC is?
Thank you very much, Nzinga, and good afternoon to the viewers. As you are aware that the conference has come and gone, but not really gone, because it will be concluded on the 5th. So the declarations and the finality of it hasn't been processed. But what is happening now is that you are having the announcement of the 80 members. That is the most important body in between conferences. In fact, that is the structure that runs the ANC. So as you saw, there was huge contestation at this conference. So it will be very important to see who gets elected to serve in that NEC, because that will be the party really that will direct the direction of the country. There's been a lot of talk that you need to have a youthful NEC. Yes, it's likely to be youthful, but what exactly will they inject into the direction of this country? And remember, that is where the president taps in if he makes those appointments, so in the main. So clearly, we'll be watching very closely because we know there's some sort of mini cabinet reshuffle that is coming. I know someone will say, how do I know? The fact that Fikile Mbalula is the Secretary General, that is a full-time post, so he must be replaced. So clearly, the president is likely to look into that NEC. And perhaps he will use the opportunity, and Nzinga, to fill some of the posts that he's left hanging for quite some time, and perhaps strengthen with a renewed mandate. He probably would want to also stamp a bit of authority. I think there's been a lot of, I don't know whether to call it dissent within his cabinet, but I guess they will say it's the nature of the business. So it will be very interesting to watch.
I mean, you've said that the conference is over, but it's not over. What can we read from the fact that the conference is supposed to be concluded, but there are matters hanging about the general state of the African National Congress and how they conduct themselves?
In fact, this was, it was very, we could see from the start that this was not going to end. Registration took 2 days. Registration. So you had a day which basically went by without anything. So with so many issues needed to be attended to, clearly it wasn't going to end. I immediately remembered that even in 2017, it went into a day, despite that it had started relatively on time. So with this situation, registration taking 2 days, actually, I think in reality, actually, it may have been about 3 days, because there were still some delegates who hadn't registered. So given that this happened, it really pointed to a state of the ANC that was not really ready. Remember, they went into this conference without the Secretary General, who should have been responsible for all of those things. So the Treasurer General ended up having to double up 3 responsibilities. So it was always going to be a huge situation. I guess that is what may have informed their decision to add a second Deputy Secretary General. Yes, it's been in the works for quite some time, but I think the events around the Secretary General and the unfortunate passing away of the Deputy Secretary General perhaps strengthen the kind of argument. I know that the issue of the second Deputy Secretary General has always been there, but this time round, so it was affected.
What can we expect in the run-up to the January 8th statement?
We expect them to conclude the ANC, the conference, and then it will be concluded on the 5th in Nzinga, and then this time around it will be hybrid, and we understand that obviously from provinces they will be gathered in various provinces, and of course then I think from Mangaung, where they'll be preparing. So, and also the commissions, remember, they didn't report back, so that also will be concluded at Mangaung, and then once they have done all of that, so, and the induction of the top 7, as is per tradition, it gets properly introduced, so that will happen at Mangaung. So they have a lot to do, and then of course that will be their celebration on January the 8th. It's a statement that started way back in 1972 when Oliver Tambo, their longest-serving president, made the clarion call to give marching orders.
SABC News political editor Mzwandile Mbeje just coming in to give us an update on that ANC conference and, of course, what we can look up to in the lead up to the January 8th statement. Thanks so much for your time.